He murdered his family. This week, it's going to be a very controversial episode. It's one that I've kind of gone back and forth debating on whether I actually want to do it or not. It's a very touchy, sensitive subject, one that I don't take lightly. And I just want to make sure that I do this the right way. It worries me a little bit, but I think it needs to be done. I think what I'm going to say kind of needs to be said, and it's something that's been said already in the past too. There's plenty of people that feel this way about this certain wrestler, and I just want to make sure that we're sensitive about it, and we're okay, and we say the right things. And I'm typically not the person that does that. So I want to talk about Chris Benoit. I want to talk about why Chris Benoit should be in the Hall of Fame. We just came out of WrestleMania season. We just saw Hall of Famers go in, and every year this is a debate that pops up. So I've been struggling and wrestling with whether or not I want to actually talk about it. So I've decided, why not? And let's give some reasons. I want to give you my 5 reasons on why I believe Chris Benoit should be in the Hall of Fame. And then you let me know how you feel. Do you think he should be? Do you think he shouldn't be? And why? I think this is worth conversation. It's worth debate in this room. So let's at first talk about Chris himself. Chris, he was born May 21st, 1967. In Montreal, Quebec, Canada, to be exact. He trained under Stu Hart in the dungeon, the famous dungeon of the Hart family. Any Canadian wrestler that was good, that was great, they came through the dungeon. As we all know, the Hart dungeon, Stu Hart is a legend, and that Hart dungeon is just it's such a famous place, and it's a place that we hear about constantly of these great Canadian wrestlers that come through, and some American wrestlers that went through it as well. He debuted November 22nd, 1985. Now, some of his career stats and achievements. 22-year career. It spanned across WWE and WWF, WCW, ECW, New Japan Wrestling, and Stampede Wrestling. He had a total of 30 championships. He's a 2-time world heavyweight champion, once in WCW, once in the WWE. He's also the 2004 Royal Rumble winner. He main evented and won WrestleMania 20. He is a WWE Triple Crown winner. He was the 12th to do it. And a WCW Triple Crown winner. He was the 7th person to do it over there. He's widely regarded as one of the best technical wrestlers, not only of his era, but of all time. He is one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time. Remember, that dungeon, the Hart family, you are going to learn the basics, and you are going to perfect the small things when you come out of the dungeon. When you come out of Stu Hart's dungeon, you are going to be perfect in all the little things, that technical wrestling. That's what they were known for. And Chris Benoit was a great representation of a great technical wrestler coming from the Hart family. Here's, I think, 5 solid reasons why we should give Benoit the nod for the Hall of Fame. I just rattled off all of these stats. I just rattled off the 30 championships, 2-time World Heavyweight Championship, 04 Royal Rumbles, mainlining the main event, WrestleMania 20. Let's not talk about all the other pay-per-views that he was involved in, all the other main card, main events, the Monday Night Raws, the Monday Night Nitros. He's a former 4 Horseman. So the first one was his, in my opinion, it's his in-ring ability, okay? Considered one of the greatest technical wrestlers ever. You got to remember, when you got into the ring with him, there was no wasted move. There was no wasted time. Benoit was so technical, so precise, and so perfect inside that ring. Very little times did you see anything go wrong. There was very little times where when he left the ring, you thought to yourself, that was an okay match. When he left the ring, we knew what we just watched was what wrestling was meant to be. Why wrestling is so great, because he's so good at it. He was so good at it. That crossface was insane. Such a great move. Flying off the top rope for the headbutt. Maybe he shouldn't have done that as many times in hindsight, you know? Probably not the best move for anyone out there. When you're watching his tapes, maybe take that one out. But when he did it, it was beautiful how he did it. Going back to his career accomplishments, that's the second reason why this man needs to be in. He's undersized. He's the underdog every single time he walked in the ring. He wasn't bigger than anyone, but he outperformed everybody. The passion, the heart, the love for the game, you cannot argue that with him. His influence on professional wrestling. He helped popularize a hard-hitting, realistic style. Benoit made you feel like what was happening was real. He made you feel like there was a fight going on. He made you feel like what was going on in that ring was not scripted, and it was a street fight. All means that's him and Eddie Guerrero both, Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio. These guys were undersized, so they had to do things a little bit different than the Undertakers of the world. Even a Shawn Michaels, they had to do things a little bit different because their size just wasn't going to get over. And Benoit was in WCW during that time frame where you've got this NWO, you got this invasion going on, and Benoit, he just had to stand out. He had to be a little bit different. So he had to go back to what he knew, which was technical wrestling and then scrappiness. You had to be scrappy. You had to fight. You had to claw. You had to grind your way when you were a Benoit during that era. He had respect from his peers. Many wrestlers historically praised his skill level. He's the type of person that if you are coming up in the ranks, if you're wanting to become a professional wrestler, you watch Chris Benoit's film. You look at what he's doing. You want to be more like him in the ring. You look at what he's doing and you learn from it. He was one of those guys that his skill set was so good that you could literally turn him into a lesson. And the people in the locker room respected a guy like him that would go out and grind like he did week in and week out. He put the miles in. He lived and breathed professional wrestling at a time when it was hard and tough. You were on the road 250, 300 days out of the year, bare minimum. And every single night he went into the ring and he laid his body on the line for your enjoyment. That is going to earn you respect in that locker room from the boys. Never complaining, never missing the bell. Some argue his career should be evaluated separately from his personal life and the crimes that he committed. You look at other sports, you look at the Hall of Fames of other sports, there's a lot of people in the Hall of Fames, even in the WWE Hall of Fame, where there's accusations. Some have had criminal action taken against them, and they've still been able to get into the Hall of Fame. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. I don't know if that's the correct way, but others have done it. WWE has done it. So if you're going to make exceptions for others, why is there not a conversation for a Chris Benoit? You may ask yourself, if someone like him has had this many championships, this many wins, this type of career, why can't we have the conversation of separating his personal life, his crimes? How can we not separate those from his career? It's the career that's getting the nod in the Hall of Fame. Benoit, I'm going to assume, struggled with a lot. CTE, depression, substance abuse, just the grind of being on the road all the time like he was. That's not an easy life. But with all that he's been able to do, with all of his accolades, all of his achievements in the WWE, do I think he should be put in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely not. He murdered his family. That's why you don't get put in the Hall of Fame. I don't care what you did in the ring. I don't care how many achievements you have. I don't care what you did for the business. I don't care how many championships. I don't care how many pay-per-views you headlined. You murdered your family. I know you were struggling. I know that you were dealing with a lot. And then you killed yourself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The Hall of Fame is meant for, yes, achievements. It's meant for these careers where you've done so many great things in the ring. And guess what? There's a lot of guys in the Hall of Fame that have done a lot of bad things as well. But as far as I know, none of them killed their entire family outside of one person, then killed themselves. So I don't think there's anybody in the Hall of Fame that's ever done anything like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. So guess what? You don't get to be put in there. The argument needs to stop. Stop making this argument every year, guys. I loved Benoit. He was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But you can't put him in the Hall of Fame. Sorry. I don't care what you think. I don't care how you can spin this and argue it however you want. We need the WWE Hall of Fame to also be a place where kids look up to heroes and look up to these superheroes and say, that's who I want to be. You need decent human beings in there. No one is great. No one is perfect. We have all fallen short. But there's got to be some type of standard. There's got to be a level here and say, if you drop below this, you got to do some work to get above that. And when you do things like a Benoit level, guess what? You don't get to come back from it. You don't get to be in the Hall of Fame. You're not going to be a martyr, okay? Sorry. Make the argument if you want. I would love to hear in the comments how you believe and why you think Chris Benoit should be in that Hall of Fame. I've named off his accolades. I've named off his achievements. But here's the one thing. He killed his family. This episode is sponsored by Zeros. Go to drinkzeros.com. Find your favorite flavors today. Mine's going to be orange. These guys, they're amazing. It's veteran owned, veteran operated, 0 carbs, gluten-free, 0 sugar, only 90 calories. And the flavors are amazing, guys. Like I said, I'm drinking the orange today. Anything orange, I'm pretty much down with. My 2 favorite flavors is orange and grape. Go to drinkzeros.com to be able to find your favorite flavors or a store near you that serves zeros. Just remember, you got to be 21 years or older to drink and drink responsibly. More than anything, please drink responsibly. Go to drinkzeros.com. Also, my friends over at Roots of Fight. Ladies and gentlemen, go to rootsoffight.com. Use promo code When Wrestling Was Real, and you'll get 20% off all of their apparel. Some of the coolest, best designs you'll see for professional wrestling, especially some of those throwback designs and some of those wrestlers that may or may not be in the ring today. Go to rootsoffight.com. Use promo code When Wrestling Was Real and get your favorite wrestling apparel over there. You don't come back. You don't get a second chance, guys. I'm sorry. Call it the morality clause. I don't know. And that's going to be immorality. It's a funny thing when it comes to WWE and the wrestlers and the people who run the show, right? There's a lot of those people sitting in that ivory tower that probably shouldn't be in a Hall of Fame or even be running the company or be a part of the company. But they're not killing their family and then turning their own cold-blooded hand, okay? That's just, sorry. Benoit doesn't get in. Case closed. No more to talk about with it. Great wrestler. Phenomenal career. Horrible ending. June 24th, 2007. He killed his family. He was scheduled for Vengeance Night of Champions. Imagine the irony there. Vengeance was the name of the pay-per-view that he missed. Then they ended up honoring the next night, not knowing what actually happened. It's a black eye on the sport. It's a black eye on WWE. It's just a black eye on humanity and every person, including me, we were all Benoit fans, and he screwed it up for us. He made it difficult for us to even have conversations about him. He made it difficult for us to even say, man, what a great wrestler. We're not even allowed to say that, it doesn't feel like. But guess what? I'm okay with it. Because when you do something stupid like that, you don't deserve to be praised. Sorry about another week of me just being pissed. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Once again, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And always remember that wrestling's real and so is God. He absolutely loves you, and I love y'all too. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all next week.